Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup, where we cover one player move, as well as the LPL and LEC games from today and the LPL games for tomorrow. The player move, EDG officially has allowed Leave to go to EDG Young, which makes me think that Leave and the investigation is over from EDG on the allegations of his fake social media accounts, the alleged prostitution and things like that he engaged in, all alleged. I don't think it's been proven. Given that the latter is actually illegal in China, if it was proven, he wouldn't be playing League of Legends, or at least we would hear about it. So he's on EDG Young now. Had a 2.4 KDA, 9.6 CS per minute, 61.7 KP. Remember, this is his rookie season. 437 gold per minute, 472 damage per minute, 23.8% of the gold share, 24.4% of the damage share, and he played 8 games, 3 champions, so only played the beginning of the split. We're going to look at Uzi's stats to see how much better they've gotten at that position. Uzi 4.1 KDA, 10.2 CS per minute, 67.3 KP. So more farm, more involved, teams fighting around him. 471 gold per minute, 640 damage per minute. A lot more impactful. 25.2 gold share, 28.3 damage share. I mean, those are big jumps. We're going from secondary, third tier carry numbers to clearly the carry of the team. 8 champions in 13 games. 18 games. Uzi is obviously one of the best ever to do it. So it makes sense they're not going to bench him for Leave. LPL recap, IG Anyone's Legend, IG win, they're 3-9, Anyone's Legend 4-8, Invictus Gaming, take it 2-1, Tianjin was MVP, playing Vi twice and then Sejuani. On 12-8-23, 31% of damage, Wink 5-7-23, so the bot lane went 17, 15, and 46. Wouldn't scream dominant from my perspective, very involved, a lot of assists, but died a lot, very inty. Harder, 16, 7, 12, 33% of damage. Honestly, he probably deserved MVP. His Ari game in game 1 was fantastic. Harder stringing together a couple good series in a row here, and solidifying himself as possibly the starter over Pinsy. Keep in mind, IG is not a good team either, so Anyone's Legend doing well into IG even for a game, and then losing to them, I think this says it all. Anyone's Legend are not very good. IG are not very good. The teams that Anyone's Legend has been beating aren't very good. It was a slugfest. Tianjin really set the tone. That's why he got MVP. I thought he was on point with his Vi ultis, picking the right targets, and then his Sejuani in Game 3 got the team ahead, and they didn't look back. YSKM played exceptional in Game 3. His Jax had like 12 kills. But I felt like Tianjin had such an impact in the other games that he deserved more of the MVP vote than YSKM. But it's nice to see YSKM pop off as well. Team Wii and LGD. LGD win. They're 2-10. Team Wii now 5-5 as their split is falling apart. So LGD Gaming 2-0. Decade was MVP. LPC 15-3-16, 38% of damage. Meteor 8-2-24. Shanks 6-7-6, 33% of damage in the loss. So in the final team fight of game 1 to get the win, I thought that Decade was the difference maker, and then in game 2 I thought he was the carry. So that's why he got MVP. LPC on the Ziggs dealt a ton of damage, got kills, and then in game 2 looked very good. They had a level 1 where they got a kill. LGD had Team Wii's number. Team Wii, the scheduling after the Road to Asia games taking away a week of time from them has hurt them, I think, as everything is kind of on top of each other in terms of schedule. And, I did say yesterday there was a chance that either one of these could go either way. Predictions, I'm 160 and 66, went 5-2 on the day. So, it is what it is. I don't know. Hai Chao looked good at times. I thought that he wasn't as good as Shanks, but he had some impact. Meteor just put up a nice KDA with, in my opinion, not big pop-off moments, which is interesting because usually he is best when he is on a carry and really shining. Jin Zhao looked good on the Leona. He also looked good in game 2. I thought that he found opportunities, which, I mean, he plays a lot of Leona, and I'm not a big fan of Leona, but unfortunately, Tristana mid leads to APCs, and Ziggs is the king of APCs. So, for LGD to pick Ziggs is not a shock. Obviously, another bad team that we're talking about. LEC final day of summer. This is out of order, so we're gonna go with Vitality XL first. XL win, they're 5-4. Vitality finished 1-8. Otawamne was MVP on Kennen. Patrick won 619, 39% of damage. Peach 4012. Perks 143, 27% of damage in the loss. Perks definitely deserves some of the blame for this one. He sucked, frankly. Photon opened the game pretty well, getting a couple kills, getting ahead. But unfortunately, in the mid to late game, Otawamne's Kennen dealt a ton of damage, especially in a key team fight that gave XL a big advantage, which is why I gave him MVP. I thought that was the turning point. Otherwise, it was pretty close at that point because Photon had some impact. Douglas had a double kill. He was not awful, once again, which is important. Very young player in a big moment. Despite going 0-3, I thought at 17 years old, coming in mid-split with into a team that literally has more pressure than anyone right now in the LEC because they were expected to do so well and have done so poorly, I thought he did fine. Upset, had some nice moments. Unfortunately, Patrick just was better. Abadage, frankly, even had some moments on the Keisante, despite not dealing a lot of damage, where he was able to make plays happen, find ways to outplay dives. And I thought that was important as well. So, XL get the win. I picked Vitality to win that one. So, that is what it is. I think that is the only LEC prediction I got wrong. BDS, Mad Lions, BDS won. Both teams are now 4-5. Nuke went 603, 29% of damage. Shea was my MVP, 107 on Maokai. Karzi, 112 and half of Mad Lions damage on Ezreal. Once again, Karzi's dealing a shit ton of damage and a loss. Very reminiscent to me of Comp last year, heading into this point of the season. Comp was dealing a ton of damage for Koi in losses, and all of a sudden they figured it out in bot lane, and he was able to actually really shine, and people noticed, hey, look how good Comp's playing. And it's like, Comp's been playing that well for a while, you just weren't paying attention, you're just looking at win-loss. It wouldn't shock me if Mad Lions went on a run again. Obviously, they are a team that's capable of just upsetting all LEC fans. Adam played well into Chasey. Sheo gets MVP because he went to top lane, got Adam ahead. Adam put Chasey in the grave. Then Sheo would also find opportunities to make other lanes get ahead. And, being a facilitator like that was really important in this one. I thought Niski was not as much a facilitator. He went bot lane once, but otherwise I felt like he was lackluster on the Gragas. His Gragas mid has fallen out of favor, and Mad Lions are still playing it. Sometimes they are slow on the whole meta deal. So BDS win. Not a shock. Koi and Astralis. Koi win. They're 4-5. Astralis 3-6. Larson was my MVP. Comp 10-0-9. 36% of damage on Sivir. Advian 0-1-18. So the bot lane went 10-1-27. Finn 1-4-2. 29% of damage in the loss for Astralis. So once again, Finn leads the team in damage. As Astralis fall back down to earth, they drop out of the playoffs. They're not going to group stage. So Malrang and Larson got this team ahead, in my opinion. We look at Comp's KDA, and of course it looks great. But the game already was like 4K in Koi's favor by that point due to Larson. Larson's Nico was on point. His Pop Blossoms were impactful. He even solo killed Finn in the bot lane. Larson was really feeling himself today. Larson has done very well this split, continues to be one of the more consistent mids in the LEC. Knocked Astralis out in a must-win game. This decided it. In the end, you look at everything, this one was the decider. Both teams were 3-5 going into it. Winner goes on, loser goes home. And Coy found a way. And then the mid to late game, Comp, obviously his Sivir, one of his best champions. He was excellent. So, I mean, it's hard to deny Larson, in my opinion. He also had a massive gold lead on leader. Heretics and G2 win. They're 8-1. Heretics 5-4. Hansama 5-1-5, 46% of damage on Aphelios. Mickey X 0-10. Vethio 2-2-4, 30% on Ksom mid. Very close game. G2 kind of choked him out. A very slow played game where Heretics even had a kill lead, but slightly down in gold. And slowly but surely, G2 just found a way to nip away at the bot lane. Take away a turret here, take an inhib here, let's send Caps on a mission, let's cause a pause because Caps solo kills Vethio, and then they chrono break, and then Vethio solo kills Caps, and there's a fight around Baron, and then there's a little more action, but G2 slowly but surely takes this one. It was not a blowout, as Heretics have shown much improvement. I mean, even in the early game, Heretics really set the tone. Flacked was putting up serious numbers on Zeri to start. And it kind of shows how where Zeri is right now, that she was not able to just take over the game completely. Just the early game. Once it got to mid to late game, Flacked was not piloting her like we would expect the Zeri to do. And G2 find a way. They find a way, and it's not the cleanest win, but it was an interesting way to win. SK Fnatic, SK win. I had somebody in the prediction video ask why I had SK beating Fnatic, and I was like, I don't know. SK did really well against Mad Lions, and Fnatic, I thought, wasn't as great in their win. Against whoever they played yesterday. So, I'm not taking a victory lap. I mean, hell, my LEC predictions haven't been great. Certes was MVP on Azir. Irrelevant, 4-4-3, 35% of damage on Jax. Marcoon, 2-0-11 on Nautilus Jungle. Humanoid, 5-1-4, 37% of damage on Xerath. Yes, we had a Xerath today. Definitely not Humanoid's fault. This loss was a massive throw. Noah had a big lead in the early game. He had like 6 kills. SK were in a massive hole, but in the mid to late game, they just threw. SK found a way to win. They won key team fights. Irrelevant doesn't get MVP on the Jax dealing all that damage because a couple of the kills happened in the early game. He was the only person that actually did anything in the early game for the team. But then Certes got involved. Xkit got involved. Certes had some, I think he was on Azir, some key shuffles. And really was able to zone for objectives. And in the end, SK win. Because Fnatic just kind of inted it away. Razork did not look good. Oscarinin in team fights was not very good. It was just one of those games, right? It was one of those games. I'm trying to think. Did Fnatic lose to G2? Maybe because Fnatic already lost to G2, they said to themselves, we already lost. It was glorified scrim. There is an angle here. I didn't remember the tiebreakers, and I said it in my predictions. I didn't know the tiebreakers. So if the tiebreaker was like winner and G2 had beaten Fnatic and Fnatic had nothing to play for, I could see the Xerath mid being a pick. Sneak peek for tomorrow, LPL. Oh, I didn't even put the power rankings on here. That's funny. Power ranking video comes out tonight, the update. But still, I'd like to put the power rankings on here. Nip, RNG, Ninja in Pajamas 5-6 coming off of a loss to Weibo. RNG 6-5 coming off of a win against Thundertalk. Last time these two teams played in spring. Ninja in Pajamas 2-0 to RNG. Invincible Shadow went 11-9-24 for 1,036 DPM, 46% of the team's damage. Breathe and Weigh 9-17-6, 1,048 DPM, 44% of damage. So a weird situation where RNG lose with more damage. And a weird situation. That doesn't happen. I mean, it happens. I guess it can't be weird, but I don't think it's as common as winning with more damage, if you get my drift here. Weibo, Team Wii. Weibo 6-4 coming off of a win against Nip. Team Wii 5-5 coming off of a loss to LGD. Last time they played, Weibo won 2-1. Xiaohu, Light, and Crisp went 27, 23, and 79 in the win. 1,347 DPM, 57% of the team's damage. Shanks, Hope, Iwandi went 26, 31, and 79. So these mid and bot lane trios were not all that dominant. 1,482 DPM. So actually the trio for Team Wii had 100 DPM more, but 69% of the damage. So 69% versus 57%. The Diffie was top jungle. That is where Weibo made a difference. The Shy into probably Bubu in that one. Karsa into Hung. That was where the difference was. Thunder Talk, EDG. Thunder Talk 2-9 coming off of a loss to RNG. EDG 6-5 coming off of a win against Team Wii. Last time they played, EDG won 2-0. Ale went 6-4-10, 19% of damage in top lane. Hoya went 7-6-7 with 26% of damage. The only roster diffie is mid 80 carry there, so I cited the two players within a matchup that both had positive KDAs. So yeah, that's it for the roundup. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.